On April 25, 2025, a federal courthouse in the Eastern District of New York delivered a landmark ruling in the case against former Congressman George Santos. U.S. District Judge Joanna Sabet sentenced Santos to 87 months in prison, exceeding 7 years behind bars, following his guilty plea to 2 felony counts of fraud in August 2024. George Santos first captured headlines during his 2022 campaign for Congress, presenting an embellished personal narrative that included false claims about his education, employment history, and family background. Within weeks of his election, a New York Times investigation exposed numerous inconsistencies in his resume and biographical assertions. That exposé prompted a broader federal inquiry, culminating in a 2023 indictment on Long Island charging Santos with a range of offenses, from campaign finance violations to wire fraud. In December 2023, faced with mounting evidence, the House of Representatives voted to expel him for betraying the public trust. In pleading guilty last August, Santos admitted to 2 counts of wire fraud relating to the misappropriation of campaign donations and other funds. Prosecutors characterized the offenses as calculated betrayals of both donors and constituents. During the sentencing hearing, government attorneys urged the court to impose the full 87-month term. In their sentencing memorandum, they argued that Santos's unrestrained greed and voracious appetite for fame enabled him to exploit the very system by which we select our representatives. They highlighted his fabrication of an entire life story and the calculated theft of contributions from elderly and cognitively impaired supporters. Prosecutors further pointed to Santos's own podcast, Pants on Fire with George Santos, as concrete evidence of his continued exploitation of falsehoods for financial gain. Describing the show as a perfect crystallization of his lack of genuine remorse, the memorandum warned that without a substantial custodial sentence, Santos would persist in deceiving the public. The government's filing emphasized that only a prison term of this length could serve as a meaningful deterrent, both to Santos himself and to other office holders tempted to abuse their positions. In contrast, Santos's defense team petitioned for the statutory minimum sentence of 2 years. They underscored his absence of prior convictions and argued that his misconduct sprang from a misguided desperation during a fiercely contested political campaign rather than from inherent malice. Santos's attorneys also noted the highly public nature of his downfall, suggesting that the shame of his expulsion from Congress and the accompanying media scrutiny constituted punishment in their own right. The court's decision to grant the government's request underscores the judiciary's commitment to holding elected officials accountable for breaches of trust. By imposing a sentence significantly above the minimum, Judge Sabet signaled that the exploitation of public office for personal enrichment will attract stringent penalties. Legal analysts anticipate that this ruling will resonate beyond the immediate parties, deterring similar misconduct and reinforcing the principle that no individual stands above the law. As Santos prepares to report to a federal prison, his case stands as a cautionary tale. The sentence not only marks a dramatic fall from power, but also reaffirms the fundamental expectation that public servants adhere to honesty and integrity. In delivering this verdict, the court has reiterated a clear message. Those who manipulate the electoral system and betray the trust of voters will face the full weight of justice.